There's nothing like waking up in the outdoors, to step out into the morning sun bathing the wilderness with its glow, to feel the earth on your feet. Oh man, you just ruined it. So I've been having this issue with my rooftop tent as of late. There's this divvy in the foam, and I think that came from that little latch that we have up there. When the tent is closed, that thing just kept digging into there, and I've never been able to get this foam to go back in its original shape. I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're sleeping, you can definitely feel it. It's very uncomfortable. I've had this tent, I don't know, 3 years now, and it's starting to show its age. I mean, like, look at this. Right over here, right where the zippers are, you're starting to get all this peeling. I'm getting this peeling pretty much all over the tent as well, and it's making the zipper extremely hard to close. Like, even on the rainfly, you can see that it's starting to show through, like parts of that stuff there's starting to be holes on it. That's just from years of use. Like, we constantly use this tent. I honestly thought that a tent would last a lot longer than 3 years, but it definitely is starting to show its age. So I can't do anything about the peeling or the zippers or even the rainfly for now, but when it comes to the mattress, I think I might have a product that'll fix that. This is DEEPSLEEP, and they're a company that specializes in making mattresses for the outdoors. They said that this is meant to go on top of your existing mattress to make it a little bit softer and more comfortable, or replace the entire mattress completely with theirs. And that's pretty much what I'm the most interested in. Now, a couple things you need to know. This does have a 5-inch foam, which I believe is going to be thicker than what I already have now, because right now I only have 3 inches, whereas now I'm going to get 5 inches. Quick pause for a joke. And it's also self-inflating, but it does have these valves here where you can remove or add air so that it adjusts to your comfort, and then when you're ready to put it away, you can suck the air out of it through these things, and then you'll be able to roll it back up again like this and put it in its bag, which, as we all know, is not always what happens when you buy certain things that come rolled up from the factory. As soon as you unroll it, we all know that it's almost impossible to get it back in the bag that it came in. Now, they also provided me with their miniature pump. This will allow you to inflate and deflate those mattresses. Really cool features, very easy to use. Just turn it on right here, and this area over here, that's where the air comes in, and then this area over here is where the air comes out. So if you need to deflate, you put this end, and if you need to inflate, you put that end. Also has a hook, so if you need to hang this somewhere, it does come with a little hooky thing there. And then you also have a light here. Just hold it down and you'll be able to, especially when you're inflating and deflating in the dark and you want to be able to see the nozzles and things like that. Now, DEEPSLEEP said that these pumps are optional for you to use. You don't necessarily need this to inflate those mattresses. Those mattresses are self-inflating. All you got to do is open the valve and it'll inflate on its own. But you can use this to fine-tune it. If you need to add more air, you can do so, or remove air if you want as well. I know I'll definitely be using this to deflate the mattresses. That way, that'll make that process hopefully a little bit faster. I'm hoping I can just put one of these attachments to the pump, put it into the valve, and then turn it on and just let it do its thing. So I want to test this mattress out in 3 ways. First way is to just sleep in the tent the way it is, with no mattress topper, and I don't really need to run that test anymore because I just came back from a trip and I know exactly how it feels to sleep on that mattress. Now, the second way is to put this on top of the existing mattress, go to sleep, and see how I like it in the morning. If I like it, if it's super comfortable, then the next question becomes, can I still close the tent with this on top of the mattress? The problem with the Free Spirit Recreation Odyssey tent, which is what I have, it's very thin, which is great for profile, but you can't even leave blankets or anything in there. Like, you have to remove everything in order for you to close that lid, which is a bummer, because what I don't want to be doing is bringing an extra mattress inside the cargo area of my Jeep, because it's going to take up a lot of space. I mean, look at this. This is already big as it is, and I have 2 of these, which then leads to my third test, which is removing the existing mattress and putting this inside. If it fits, awesome. And then I'm going to sleep in it, and if it's comfortable the next day, problem solved. I'll remove the existing mattress that I have now and keep these in the tent, and this is what I'm going to run by itself. That is ideally what I'm hoping these will do. Which is why I'm going to be sleeping in my driveway. I mean, sure, I can take these with me camping and testing it out in the woods so that this video looks more authentic, but what difference does that really make whether I'm sleeping in my driveway or somewhere in the woods? Besides, there are a couple of reasons why I need to do it here. Number one, my kid goes to school and I'm the one that has to get him ready every morning. Number two, I'm gonna be moving and rearranging mattresses, and I don't wanna be doing that and getting it dirty at some campsite. And number three, honestly, it is super hot outside. I'm sweating here in the studio. I need to get my AC, plug it up to the house, route it to my tent so that I can at least be comfortable as I'm sleeping. But I think it'll be fun. Let's see how well these things perform. All right, so here's where I'm at with this. Self-inflation, and it did take a little bit longer than I expected it to, but once I got it to inflate all the way, it's actually really thick and it feels good. It feels really soft and it feels comfortable. I know that I'm gonna have a good sleep with this. But here's the bummer. Lengthwise, it's perfect. It's like the exact same length as my rooftop tent, which is awesome because it fits that way to the T. However, widthwise, I'm only going to be able to fit one of these mattresses up here. If I'm bringing my entire family, that's not going to work because we have this like ledge down here now. I really wished that two of these would fit in here, but they're just too wide. That really sucks because that takes away my attempt to replace the existing mattress with these ones. But we're gonna go ahead and try it out anyway. We're gonna go to sleep on this one and see how it feels in the morning. All right, so that was a pretty interesting night. Sometime around 4 o'clock in the morning, a thunderstorm rolled through. I could hear all the thunder and it was just raining pretty badly. And got some leakage from this top area right here because of that rain fly not being as waterproof as it used to be. So part of the middle of this tent is kind of soaking wet. So that was pretty fun. Now the mattress though, the mattress was awesome. It was probably the best sleep I've had in my rooftop tent. It actually inflated even more after I turned the camera off last night and it got it thicker and just more cushiony. It was awesome, but it just sucks because I can't fit two of these in here. I really wanted to replace the existing mattress with these, but it's just not going to fit, and running just one of these mattresses will work for solo camping, but it won't work for my family, which makes my second experiment pretty much void because there's no point in me removing the existing mattress and then putting this one on and seeing how that feels because I'll never be able to run it that way anyway. But what I will do is we'll go ahead and deflate this one and see if the rooftop tent will close with this deflated, because if that's the case, then during those solo trips I can keep this inside the tent. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go ahead and deflate this mattress and see if we can still close the tent with this thing deflated. All right, so this was the product that I really wanted to work out. Of all the reviews I've ever done in the past, this was the one that I had the highest hopes for. So let's start with the good. First off, the mattress was so comfortable. I can't even tell you how nice that sleep was. And I'm not surprised because I know people who run the Deep Sleep mattresses and they absolutely love it. That by itself makes this thing worth it. Second, self-inflation was clutch. Now, the first time I tried to deploy this, it took a lot longer until I realized I was opening the wrong valve. There's a valve in there that has a button and you press that and it will basically let air in or let air out. And I realized that that was not the proper one. There's another valve on the other side that is hard to remove the first time you use it. And that's why I thought, let me not break this. And I found out that that is the actual valve you're supposed to open up. Once I figured that out and got that open, this inflated pretty quickly. If it's still not fast enough for you, then you can definitely use this. Now the bad, which has absolutely nothing to do with deep sleep at all, is that I really wished that two of these fit in my tent, but it did not. If you're curious to know, the dimensions of these are 80 by 27. 27 inches, two of them together, that would be 54. It was just too wide for my tent. However, I did find that Deep Sleep has another version that's 80 by 24. So I'm about to check the dimensions of my tent and see if I can fit two 24-inch mattresses in there, because if so, that solves that problem. But as it stands with this one, two of these are not going to fit in my tent, which basically makes it null and void because I can't just have one in there when I'm going with my family. Now I can definitely bring this if I'm solo camping, but it is just another piece of gear that I have to bring with me, and this thing is not small, it's pretty big, and it's just another thing that I have to set up every night and another thing I have to break down every morning, which is why I was hoping that I could deflate this and leave this inside the tent, but with the way my tent is, it just won't close with anything more than what is already in there, which is just the mattress. Next tent, I definitely want something that's thicker, that can fit mattress toppers and linens and still be able to close with no problems. Deflating this wasn't too hard, especially when you use the little pump and get all the air out, but I had to try to roll it up and there's still going to be some air left inside. Was I able to get all the air out? Not really. But shout out to Deep Sleep for having a bag that can actually accommodate for the fact that you may not be able to roll it back to the way they had it coming out of the factory. Most other companies, they give you the bag and you have to basically get it back into that bag the way that they put it into the bag, and it's so tight. Where Deep Sleep, they give you, see this? There's still some room in here. So if you don't necessarily get all the air out perfectly, then it still has enough room for it to fit. But just for me, I don't want to roll anything up anymore, which is why I bought the rooftop tent to begin with. I hated setting up tents, hated setting up mattresses. I just want to be able to open the tent and go to bed, and having to set this up as well kind of defeats the whole purpose of why I decided to go with an RTT to begin with. But not all hope is lost, because when we use the Forerunner and bring our ground tent, we're going to be bringing these in lieu of the air mattress, because this is actually better than an air mattress. You already know when it comes to an air mattress, it takes a while to fill that thing up, and then through the night it starts to lose some of that air, and then sometimes you'll lay down on one side and then the person on the other side gets catapulted into the air. But these self-inflating, it'll be a lot easier. And when we do use the Forerunner and we go, like when we use the ground tent, it's usually when we camp for days at a time, when we're not hitting trails, when we're stationary at a campsite, and setting this up like on day 1 and then rolling this back up on day 3, day 4, day 5, that's not that big of a deal. But I think this would also be good for those of you who like to sleep inside your vehicle. If you've been looking for a mattress to just put in there and that's where you sleep, this might be great for you. Just unroll it, let it do its thing, and then just leave it alone, and every night that's where you go to bed. I will say though that if that is what you plan to do, Deep Sleep has other ones that are fitted for the inside of your vehicle, ones that go around the wheel well and things like that. So you might want to get those because that's more of a perfect fit. Or if they don't have your vehicle, then you can get this universal one. But honestly, my issues are not your issues, because if you have a tent that can accommodate two of these at 27 inches each, or the 24-inch ones, then this will work out great for you. If you have a tent that can close with extra stuff in there, this will work out for you. Just unfortunately for the tent that I have, this is not going to work there. And to me, that is a huge bummer because I really liked the sleep that this thing provided. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you ideas or made you think about whether or not you should replace the mattress inside your rooftop tent or add something to it if it's starting to get uncomfortable. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure you smash, actually, don't smash, roll up and pack away that like button. Subscribe to our channel, click that notification bell so we can let you be aware of new videos when they come out. And if it moves you, support us on Patreon. It gives you access to all of our videos before everyone else and gives you access to our live streams when we do them. And as always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at BeastOfBurden4601. My name is Asia Sampson, and I will see you next time. I seriously wanted you to work out, man. Like, you have no idea. It's not you, it's me.